Welcome, everybody. It's Wednesday night again, and or evening anyway. We doing here? There we go. Oh, how are all of you doing? I am a little bit fuzzy tonight. I am on day two of a water fast, although I am drinking some ginger tea with salt. It seems like it's going to help a little bit, help my brain anyway. Um, Tonight, you guys are all calling in from. Good to have all of you here. We both have Instagram on tonight as well. That's nice. We have Florida and Utah and Phoenix. A little slow tonight. That's okay. But welcome Instagram as well. Um, tonight, I wanted to talk about this 3i Atlas. Some of you, I'm assuming you all know what that is. That's why you're here. We're also going to be doing a reading on Trump. Now, I've stopped doing readings on TikTok and the TikTok, right? Ticky tacky, on the public platforms because that's what got me kicked off before. So tonight, we're going to do it live so that we don't have to risk that. And I'm also going to be talking about this 3iAtlas, of which I do not want to talk about on TikTok as well, because what I have to say goes against the mainstream media propaganda. So let's jump in. Let's jump into this 3iAtlas. Now, I didn't know what the 3i stood for. It's the third interstellar object that has come into our solar system, meaning that it comes from outside of our solar system. So that's why they were calling it 3iAtlas. Now, a lot of speculation about this. They're saying, the scientists are saying, of course, that it's a comet. Others are wondering if it is a mothership, if it's some kind of a probe. Is it dangerous? So I'm giving the energetic read on this. I'm really not interested in, how fast it's traveling, how big it is, how much uh, the components that are coming off of its tail. I don't care about any of those scientific things. I'm here to give you the energetic data input on this, and so that you guys don't have to be afraid, for number one. So it is a mothership. It is not a comet. So we'll just say that it is a intelligent craft. And I say intelligent because the crafts that come from these other galaxies, they are able to interact with these things with their own consciousness. So it is almost like a living being, a living craft. The one thing that I want to read you this part, because I really like the way Ishmael Perez, he's our galactic historian, he has a great video on all of this. Now, he's much more informed about all of this than I am, but I wanted to read to you how he described this, because I think it's really good. And he also believes that it is a mothership. He calls it so it has been deployed. It's actually been deployed. It's been sent here from a particular place in our galaxy. And that place is called Aurelia Prima. And describes it. It's a ship that has been deployed. It's a living crystal bioship. It's housing many star nations. It's designed to carry thousands of beings. It carries the collective consciousness of dozens of galactic nations. It's actually a temple. It's a moving council chamber infused with wisdom of the ancients. So I believe, even before I read any of that, it is here to help us. I have been in connection with this. The messages are very supportive and nothing, crazy or my brain is a little fuzzy tonight. You'll have to pardon me. um, but the thing I did check on, because I'm all numbers and the statistics and so forth. And so I discovered that this ship is communicating with only some people on the planet, the people that are receptive, mostly starseeds. And only about 3.3% of the population is going to be receptive to the messages, to the direction, to the guidance of this mothership. So Ishmael did confirm that it is not going to be landing here. And it's basically working with star seeds. And so when you get the messages and the information, you may not know that it's actually coming from them. But in retrospect, I feel like a lot of the information that I've been receiving lately is from this intelligence. And so I'm referring to like the ongoing evolution of how our ascension path is going. So one, being connected to our oversoul, that was kind of a big step in keeping these darker energies away. And then the information about the colostrum. Now, I think that is pretty important and profound for our ascension, for our evolution, because it is helping to prepare our bodies to receive more light. And I believe that in our 12-day program, which is going to be starting next month, we are going to be going to a higher elevation of millivolts of light. Currently, we are at 350. And when I say we, I say those who are who've been following me, who have been through this program that I've led, where we elevate our entire physiology to this higher light quotient. So this is what is happening. It's happening, and it's a gradual happening, but it in some ways it feels like it's happening kind of fast, in that like I've noticed even my own body from having come back from South Africa, received a lot of upgrades there, that I've been having a hard time taking a deep breath since South Africa, even today, even up till today, even up till now. And I believe my body is upgrading. It is trying to accommodate and get ready for these higher light frequencies. And so I see the way in this whole thing. And I just remember I'm supposed to be recording this video for my team, so I apologize. Let me see if this will work. Hang on. Okay, so hang on. Video, okay. All right, so they missed the part about the 3iAtlas. But at any rate, moving forward, I believe that this 3iAtlas is communicating with a certain percentage of the population, as I mentioned, 3.3%, and they are helping us with information. And now different starseeds may be receiving different information, and they feel called or inclined to help humanity in different ways. So I'm being called to help with this, embodying more of these light frequencies. So that's the part that I'm playing, and I'm wondering if you feel called. And in our Q&A, this is one of the great questions that you could ask. Are you one of the ones that this AI is communicating with and bringing messages to? So that would be a great question to ask when we do the Q&A. So Let's see what else about this 3i Atlas. I think that that's pretty much it. It has changed its trajectory. That's part of why there are some people that now know that it is more than just a comet. It has changed its trajectory. It will be getting the closest to the sun. Let's see, I think that is later this month on October 29th, but we will be on the other side of the sun, so we won't be able to see it. And then towards late December, around the 21st, uh, it will be the closest to the Earth then. So there's time here. This time it feels like it's an important window of time where if we are among those who are connected to this interstellar mothership, bioship, is that what he called it? Let me see what he called it. A crystal bioship, this living crystal bioship, yes. So if you feel that you are among that 3.3% that is connected to this support for humanity, then this is really the time to tap in, maybe through some deep meditation, through whatever means you have of connecting to this. Obviously, getting quiet so that you can get beyond all the static and noise. And so I think that that's also partly why, I'm always just listening. What am I supposed to do next? So now I'm on this fast. And actually, this weekend, I will be working with some plant medicine. I haven't worked with plant medicines in a while, haven't felt called, but this is a plant medicine I have not worked with. And the opportunity came up. And so I will be doing that this weekend. It feels like that is part of this preparation. My request is that it helps me release whatever this tension is in my body that's not allowing me to take a full breath. There's some kind of interference, and it's not AI. Although I did find that their interference before I got on this call, because I was really having a hard time with clarity. And so I took out 50 chords of this AI. So at any rate, it feels like this plant medicine, which is blue lotus and I think acacia and some other thing. It's a concoction, a brew of some kind. At any rate, that's what I'll be doing this weekend. I'll give you a report next week. So come back and find out how it was, what happened, and we'll see how that goes. So this 3iAtlas is not something to be afraid of. It's something to welcome, that it is here helping humanity's ascension, at least those of us who are on this ascension path. And as we know, the majority of people are not. And so the majority of people will be afraid if our government decides to turn their presence into something that's negative or threatening or anything like that, because it is completely not that. So, having said that, if you have questions about this A3i Atlas that I can look into, that would also be great. And so now this presidential reading, I wanted to do it because people are, I just see so many people that are, the ones who are on that other path that are spewing a bunch of nonsense or things that are not true. So I wanted to share my viewpoint. Some people think, oh, has he turned? Is he, what's he up to? So, and I don't really know everything he's up to because I don't watch the news. So if I seem a little uninformed, enlighten me here. That would be great. And then we could check into the frequencies of what we see going on. So first of all, he is grounded, just like he was before. He has an infinite number of rings. His heart is 100% open. It is flowing through that circle of reciprocity. And the one thing that I found interesting that was off, though, energetically, is that he is not connected to his oversoul. He is not connected at all. And so then people might be inclined to ask, well, which Trump are you checking? So I'm checking the real Trump. There are 5 clones. And so that's why I wanted to do this live here, because when I said that about Biden, that's why they deleted. That was the first video I deleted, was telling that Biden had a bunch of clones. So anyway, Trump has 5 clones, and so the one that I'm reading is the real Trump, the real live Trump, the first Trump, the original Trump. um, and so yes, his oversoul is blocked. He is only in his ego 15%. He I can hardly even read my writing. I apologize. Um, he is on the ascension path. I found that interesting. I don't think I had ever checked that before, whether or not he was on the ascension path. And so he is being used by the benevolent forces to help us on this path. He does have a lot of curses. He's got about 50 curses at his 6th chakra, trying to keep him in this angry energy. What else? A lot of people claim that he is a pedophile. He is not. That measures 0%. And the last time I did this report, he was like at 100% narcissist. I don't know if that can change, but apparently he's less so now. Maybe he feels like he really need to be. He's only 15% narcissist. Yes, I double checked just to make sure. And so that is my reading on Trump. No politics. No, I'm not on sides. I don't. I'm not on any of these political sides, because politics are the answer. They're all part of the same, the same mess. And so I don't vote, and Christ consciousness is not on the ballot. So, oh well. All right. So we have some questions. Great. Is Trump a time traveler? Yes, he is, as well as Melania and Barron, all time travelers. And I've read that or heard that Melania was either Arcturian or Lyran, and I'm getting that she is Arcturian. So she is also connected to this ship. I didn't check that before, but I'm checking in real time here. Is Trump connected to this? Yes, getting a yes, and Barron as well. So the whole family is receiving communication from this mothership. How can we be working with benevolent forces but also have clones? Well, the clones are not necessarily bad. They help protect him, because then he is at these different places. If they assassinate a clone, then he still will be alive. So that's the whole point of having these clones, is to keep him protected. So we have ferment. I don't know what ferment is. How this mothership is coming here. It came through a portal. And so this is one of the things that Ishmael explained, is that it's traveling through portals, so that it's not taking light years to get here. It doesn't travel like on a linear line. It went through portal to get into our solar system. Yeah, into our solar system. Ferment. I don't know what ferment is. Sorry. Maybe you guys, maybe if you're talking about the firmament, is it, that covering over the earth? Is that, yeah. Yeah, I don't really believe in that, so I can't really address it. And so flat earth, I don't believe in flat earth as well. Everything in our solar system is round. Am I one of the ones they are communicating with? Shelley, getting yes. She. Yes. So, yeah, and so if there's any of you else here that wanna know that, if you wanna know, whatever it is you wanna know, okay. And so one other thing I wanted to give you an update on is our colostrum. Where is it right now? Earlier today, I can't look it up on my phone, um, because I'm using my phone. Let me look it up over here. And BK1 Kelly. Okay. Are you connected with them? I'm getting a no. So, not as part of this 3.3%. What about Elon Musk and Trump's relationship? Mm, yeah, interesting. Um, they are still working together. As I'm getting information now, as you ask that question, they are still working together. They have to play some, political bantering and so forth, just to kind of keep things at a stasis, or to keep things interesting. But here's another thing that I discovered in some of my research about this 3iAtlas is that the Starlink actually received a signal from this mothership. So he, I guess, is apparently telling people to stop with the BS and acknowledge this is not a comet. It is actually, uh, a living craft that has uh, communication for us. All right. Charlene here. Am feeling a yes. I am getting information. Charlene, I am getting a yes on that. Charlene, um, are we going to blessed gaze the new earth? You must be English must be your second language. It's a little hard to understand that. So, um, are you're wondering if there's going to be gays on this new planet? Uh, Not even going to address that one because it is, there's just so much judgment about it. I do believe that humans are designed a very specific way, and a lot of confusion exists around our identities. I'll just say that. Is Charlie Kirk's assassination inside job or just no, it's not a random person. It is completely an inside assassination. He was helping too many young people get clearer on what and how things work. And so they needed to stop him. Yeah, so I maybe there is a, I know that even in the ba, 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 Native Americans, they had a certain name for these. It was like a split um, being or identity that could be both male and female in a body. So I'm not here to judge that any which way. I have no judgment about what people's preferences are. So just saying that. Yes, Sandy. I think I said that up here. Yes, Sandy, you are also of that 3%. All right. What other questions do you guys have? There's a lot going on the planet right now. And I've, you know, kind of disconnected so much from everything just because I'm happier that way. And as soon as uh, even when I was on my trip in Africa, I really felt the need to just be with everything that I was being with and enjoying the abundance and plethora of our planet Earth and the amazing animals that are so connected to Gaia And so I was just really in it, and I even since being back, I have not been really been able to. I find it hard to get here. So I'll just say that I find it hard to get here on these platforms and to post. And so, but I am doing it. I'm here. I'm here for you guys. So, what questions do you have? Um, Good to know. Okay, yeah. Let's go over to Instagram. See if anybody is able to post over here. Apparently not. There is a trick to being. Oh, somebody did post. Hang on. But Jen. Okay. Apparently Jen can communicate here on Instagram, but maybe you can let everyone know how you got there, Jen, so that they can also comment. I think you have to like or subscribe or something, and then you can click on something and get to the questions. So let's see, Nasara Jasara. I know you're misspelling that, but I know what you mean. Are they going to happen in the new system? Yes, I believe Nasara Jasara. The communication that I have gotten is that yes, that is going to happen. Not like tomorrow. It's still a little ways off because there's still a lot of moving parts, and um, these next 3 years are going to be still very tumultuous as this old system and all the ways of its operating are falling away. This takes time. So, but Nasar Jasara is going to happen. That is, in a nutshell, that is the evening out and playing field of our economic system, and all of the monies that have been robbed from humanity through taxes, through all kinds of means, are going to be giving back to humanity. So I get a yes on that. Shelley, I'm feeling so sensitive to everything right now, good and bad. Do I have AI cords? No, you do not. You're just becoming more aware of your awareness. And so I think that's also part of this, me having a hard time taking a deep breath. We're just acclimating to these higher frequencies, and this is what humanity is doing as we're evolving, is we're learning how to accommodate all of these higher frequencies in our physical 3D body so that we can basically be angels on earth, humans that embody as much light as possible. So that can be a challenge. And so we need our higher sensitivities to have greater awareness, and it can be hard on the body, no doubt. All right, Sherry is sharing. A creator on TikTok suggests to quit your job today if you're a chosen one. Well, that is the stupidest advice I've heard, and it reminds me of advice when I was a Jehovah's Witness, and we were always waiting for Armageddon. So, all of these doomsdayers, I don't buy into any of it, and even Ishmael's Perez's idea and concept of this solar flash coming. I'm not a proponent of that, because I believe our ascension, our evolution, our growth, our ascension is based on how humanity is evolving, not on some instant thing. That instant thing is not going to evolve humanity. And so when people are saying, let me get back to that story. So I was thinking, that Armageddon was going to come. there were people in our congregation that was basically saying the same thing. And there are people that followed their advice because Armageddon was always just around the corner. And there were people that sold their homes. And sadly enough, so that was in 1975, that these people sold their homes because Armageddon was coming. And those people ended up living the remainder of their lives out in a trailer park because that's all they could afford after that. So no, I don't believe you should quit your job and because you're a chosen one. If you're chosen, which in my opinion, that doesn't mean you're special. That means you have a greater responsibility. That means you have work to do. And if you all can do that without a job, then great. Then yeah, quit your job. But if you can't survive or sustain your living without a job, then unfortunately in the 3D world, we still need money. We still need to work. We still need to function. So just because you've been chosen doesn't mean you throw common sense out the window. Just saying. Okay. Ava, I just want to make a comment. Stephen Greer said that 3IA is not real. I watched his video and I didn't get that he said that. I think what he was, I'd have to go back. I'm not gonna, because my brain's not working the best right now. I can't really actually remember his exact words, but that wasn't the sense that I got from Stephen Greer's interview. There was an hour interview. I watched about the first 15 or 20 minutes of it. Yeah, I think what he was basically saying in that part of that interview was that, don't buy into this sky is falling thing just because there's something in our system, in our solar system. Kaylin, welcome. Can you help people find their best way to find their internal yes or no? Well, I saw a really great video the other day. This woman was explaining about muscle testing. And so I'll convey that here because I think it really is the best way that I've heard so far. And so she was mentioning how these three fingers and our thumb are on one circuit and our baby finger is on another circuit. So one being positive, one is negative. I don't know which is which. However, if you, let's see, yeah. So if you join the thumb and baby finger, and then with your other hand, so with your, whatever hand you write with would be your dominant hand. That would be this other hand. That you go like this and you make an L, and then you do like that with this hand. Then, okay, so I'll show you how to test in a minute, but first you have to ask a test question like, am I a giraffe? So obviously the answer is no. And so that's how you figure out your yes or no. So you're taking these fingers and trying to open them like this, and you use the same amount of pressure closing these fingers as you do with these fingers trying to open. So when you put that in there and you ask if I am a giraffe, it obviously opens because the answer is no. So a no, it would open. And so then if I ask, is my name Kimberly? It's strong. So this is how you can test that. And this is easier than that. You don't go out like that. I used to go like that. But this is a better way because you're using the same amount of pressure on both. So that is the best muscle testing technique that I've seen. So you always ask a test question first so you can feel what your no feels like, and then you can feel what your yes feels like. So that is a great way to get a yes or no with muscle testing. There are other ways. If you know how to trust the signals in your body, that another way, but I would say I'll stick with this one first. I think it's really the best one that I've seen so far. So thanks for asking, Kaylin. Um, so we should wait 3 more years. I don't think you should wait for anything. You should stay busy living, stay busy evolving, stay busy going inward, stay busy helping others, stay busy being in service to others. Never wait. That's a waste of time. Um, so Kaylin, I've never felt so blocked in my life. It's in my face, but I can't grasp it. What do I need to do or not do? I'm feeling blocked. Let's see where your block is, Kaylin. It's in your root chakra in the second layer. Cords. These are AI cords. There's about 50 of them. So never cut cords, always pull those out. So this is like the 50 cords that I let go of before I got on the call. So go ahead and pull those cords out of your root chakra. It's got a lot of fury in them. So that would be number one. There's also some interference in your sixth chakra at the second layer, creating fear. And so that's the part that makes it hard for you to move forward. That's what fear is designed to do. It's designed to stop you. So, and in your sixth chakras, more cords, another 5. So those 2 things I think will start to move the needle for you. But come back next week and let me know, or even in a few minutes. It could be that fast. All right, great. How many more years till the new system? You sound like a witness. You sound like a Jehovah's Witness. Um, it's going to be whenever people get their shit together. So it's time to start doing that for yourself. Like, are you ready? Are you doing your work? Are you going inward? I'll let you know that you actually don't even have a grounding cord. So that would be number one. Mayrazar is to get grounded. That's energy 101. It sounds a lot like you are waiting for something outside to fix your life, and that's not where it happens. It happens inward, but you can't even know or tell what's going on if you're not grounded. Because if you're not grounded, everything accumulates, it backs up, you feel overwhelmed by what's going on in here. So then you leave your body um, connected by a small thread, only occupying your body, in your case, 3%. So you only are able to tell 3% of what's going on. You can't even tell all the fury that's in your field that's kicked you out of your body. So when you get grounded, you can start releasing those energies. And so the first suggestion I have for anybody that wants to know, well, where do I start? How do I don't know how to do that. Well, you can go to my website. The link is right there on the screen, KimberlySherry.com. And there's a free 20-minute meditation that is designed to help you connect to your energy field in a very specific way so that you can get grounded. There's 5 parts to getting grounded, and start moving the energy through your field so you can start releasing all of these energies that feel so overwhelming. Now, I get why people, want the next best thing, or they want, their savior to come, or the next president to save or maybe a man in their life, or maybe a woman in their life, or whatever it is. Your life is not going to improve by something on the outside. That's temporary. You want your life to improve from here, and then what you can attract from that place is going to amplify what's going on here. So yeah, that's definitely energy 101. Okay. So yeah, if you're coming here, you're likely to have me read something that I'm just trying to be helpful. I'm not trying to you know, uh, call you out or make you look bad or anything like that. And this is hopefully helpful advice. Um yes, is great advice. uh okay. Here's someone on Instagram that wants to know if I can tell if they're grounded. That looks like a very Hawaiian name, so I won't even try to pronounce it. But um, the only person here that's asked if I can tell if they're grounded. So, yes, you are grounded. So, great job. You only have 3 rings above your head, though. So, you're not how you'd like to create. There's some interference above your crown. Um, and there's about 20 chords right at the third creative ring above your head. So um, only 15% connected to your oversoul too. So that would be first thing in order is that oversoul energy down through your rings so that it anchors to your spine. And then when that's anchored all the way down your spine, then you can start operating from a much more powerful place. So you're fast though, because you're grounded now, but you were grounded before. Okay, that's right. You were grounded. 5. Now you have 5 rings. So keep working on those chords above your ring, and that'll open that up, bring that oversoul in. Those would be my 2 suggestions for you with the long Hawaiian name. Okay. All right. Anybody else? What else you got? We got a few more minutes here. Let me get a drink of tea. Mm, I'm supposed to go on a hike tomorrow, and I might be drinking some coconut water for a little bit of keep my blood sugar up. All right, Sherry, what do we got? Why are the messages coming across all platforms so messy, chaotic, and inconsistent? Uh, well, I I think maybe what you're referring to is like not a consistency in messages. That's because 90% of what you see and read on the internet, well, I'll tell you about the social media platforms. 90% of that is not true, is made up, are bots, are AI, is just people that are working for the dark side that want to confuse you. And so they'll purposely say the exact opposite of what's true. And so they do that to confuse you so you can't tell what's true because if this is why it's Kaylin's question was so important, how to get your internal yes or no. You need to determine if what you're reading is it true. Now people send me videos all the time and check this out or they think it's cool or whatever. Before I'll look at it, open it, listen to it, I'm going to calibrate it. If it vibrates at 250, which is 250 on my infinity scale, that's low. That's like the bottom of the scale. That's a no. That's garbage. It's not true. Don't waste your time. And so a lot of, in fact, when I did that, the one reading that I did on TikTok on my new platform on Charlie, all of the people that were saying, "Oh, he's alive," or along those lines, that none of them, not one, had a grounding cord. So these are bots and just people on the other side that are being used by the dark side. They're being programmed and they are susceptible to all of these programs. The thing that you have to remember is that our aura has, okay, we are wireless by virtue of our aura. Our electromagnetic energy field is constantly intercepting energies, messages, etc. And those who have taken the jab are more susceptible to all of those messages because they have more metal in their bodies and more nanotechnology and particles that intercept these messages. So that's why they're so easily, they were already easily swayed by the dark side. And so now they're really very much just being controlled by them. So, yeah, the vaccine can be reversed. It can be, take it out of your system, depending on how much you've had and how much if you still believe that it was a good thing and that you will take the next booster that comes along, then you're there's no reversing there's no reversing that. You're in it. So anyway, so much about that. It's my sister with the long haul. Oh, it's your sister. Okay, great. Paulette, great. Well, great having you here, Paulette. That's nice. It's good to see that you're grounded. And Sandy can help you with these things. She is great with this stuff. You're welcome, Sherry. Shelley wants to know, is my overweight body a form of protection or perhaps a curse from a jealous former friend? I'll measure what percent it is a form of protection for you. 15%. What percent is it a curse from your jealous former friend? 0. So the rest of that is, yeah, that's the one that I'm still, people would look at me and say, you're not fat. But I have my own little protective layer there. And so it's one that I'm always working on as well. So, yeah, for everybody, it's a little different. So there's a lot of your metabolism right now, Shelley, is low. So we've worked on that in the past. Right now, it's only 15%. So raise that by clearing root chakra, second layer, cords, AI. There's 5 cords there. So this is one thing for those of you who are going to be joining us for the 12-day in November, where we're going to be bringing every single body system by organ up to 100% and 450 millivolts. I've already declared that. That's the name of the program, Embodied 450, because we're going to 450. I already know that that's going to happen. So it's a next level of our cellular light quotient. And so the more light that our cells hold, the more information it has on how it's supposed to function. And so let's see how Shelley did with her metabolism. It's back up to 100%. Yeah, so keep it there, Shelley. And that will help. That's one thing that will help. Hey, Michigan, great to have you here. Daily Muse, can you calibrate the product Folium PX pine bark for detoxification? The product in and of itself vibrates at infinity, but what's more important is how it resonates with you, because there's a lot of really good products out there, but maybe it's not for you. So you, Daily Muse, and this Folium PX also vibrate at infinity. So that's how you check. You should be checking all of your supplements that way. Your supplements, your how much you should take, how often you should take it. So that those can all be calibrated and should be. There's a lot of you wasting a lot of money on products and supplements that you either don't need or you're taking it long after it's done its job. So two great things to keep in mind. All right, one last check over here on Instagram. Do I have any curses? Carol wants to know if she has any curses. It feels like a yes. Yes, I concur. You have curses. You have 50 in your crown from, it's not AI though. It's a female. Do you know who that is? Use your oversoul. Your oversoul is 100% connected and anchored to your spine. Use that white plasma oversoul to just blast all of those curses out of your crown, Carol. And I'm sure you know who they're from. So thanks for asking. Okay, great. Oopsie. I don't know what Instagram just disappeared. So I hope it says you're still on. Okay, well, let's see. I have multiple curses from HB. Sherry, were you the one asking that on Instagram? No, that was a different, and I can't go back now because it turned off. But anyway, okay, Sherry, let's see. Do you have curses? Yes. You also have 50 curses. These are in your root chakra with a lot of fury. These are AI curses. So the curses at your root chakra are going to make you feel unstable and where you're always annoyed with everything and yeah, where you will doubt yourself. You don't have a lot of certainty. It'll cause you to not have certainty about what you know. So clear those curses in your root chakra. Hang on, checking your oversoul. That's 100% connected, so that's great. So use your oversoul, that white plasma energy, to just blast those curses out of there. And yeah, this is how we master our energy. Yes. All right. Well, we have time for maybe one more question. Is there somebody that wants me to look at something? So, I think I was going to tell you where our colostrum is. I got so distracted. So our, hang on. I will tell you here in just one second. Oh, I can't quite look it up the way I do over there. Okay. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Our colostrum. So at 4:30 this afternoon, no, at 8:15 this morning, excuse me. It was at 1. That is our lumbar. It's starting to come back. So it's on the upward swing now. It was at L1 and now it is at so it's gone through the lumbar. Now it's going up into the thoracic. Hang on one second. It's in 12, 10, 9, 12, 10, 9. It's at T8. This is our spleen. This is where I had a lot of energy coming home on the plane. It was at T8. I remember that because it was like right at the solar plexus. And actually, that's a little higher than the solar plexus, like high solar plexus is right at that T8. That's spleen. So might notice if how your solar plexus is doing, how your spleen's doing. This is a good time to pay attention to how your blood is reproducing more cells for your body. And yes, Kaylin wants to know if Santa Claus is connected to the colostrum. Well, that's the story. That's the story about colostrum. Saint Claus is like the Holy Colostrum, the Holy Claus, Santa Claus. That's how it's connected. So, yeah, it's a story that has been created that is keeping this sort of hidden ancient information in a little children's story. And it does coincide with what actually happens, where this holy essence, um, it's not an oil because you need a gland to secrete an oil. So it's actually not a literal oil. It's a very thin band of neurons that, in my opinion, since I've been looking into this whole thing, it emits a frequency that then programs the fluid of the spinal fluid. So that's really where the fluid comes in. The colostrum is not actually a fluid, but it imbues, it imparts, it activates the spinal column with this frequency that travels down the spine, informing our entire nervous system on how it should operate. The whole story about Santa Claus coming down the chimney, bringing gifts, and then going back up again. It seems to correspond with all of that. So, in that sense, yes. How to heal fear of being seen. That's a great one, Carol. That's a big part of how I help healers. I help healers come out of hiding. So there's a lot of reasons that you could be in hiding. Let me look at you specifically. We'll use this as our last question. Yes, this live will be posted. Yes, good, Sherry. Yeah, so come back and watch the first half. So this fear of being seen for you, Carol, is part of it is in your sixth chakra. There are chords, AI, about 20 of those AI chords, and they are programming your sixth chakra with thoughts and beliefs that make you fearful or afraid of being seen. So that's part one. In your heart chakra, there's a lot here. There's like a lot from past lives, being killed as a healer. Then we bring all of those imprints into this time when we don't want to be seen, because that means we're going to get killed again. So you have about 20 of those. You have about 20 past lives of being killed as a healer. That doesn't make you want to come out of hiding. That doesn't make you want to get out in front of people and, be seen. So that's another part. Let's see what else. 1, 6, 5, right at the throat. All the lifetimes where you were killed at the throat for speaking up, speaking your truth. The 10, did I say 10 before? It's probably maybe all part of the same thing. Anyway, there's that. So then, you don't want to speak up because of everything that's going on here at the throat. Maybe you even have thyroid issues because of all of this going on here. There's some more. In your second chakra, more chords, a lot of fear. So there's about another 20 chords. And so this is just like an initial thing. It's about 20 chords there at the second chakra that are trying to keep you afraid to step forward, to be seen or heard, fear of success, Yeah, if you have a fear of success, you'll never be successful, right? And you won't be seen, you won't be heard, all of those things. You don't have a fear of failure. You have a fear of success, which is different. And then, yeah, that's enough for a little quick right there, a quick snapshot of what's really going on. If you really want help, Sherry, or not Sherry, Carol, if you really want help, Carol, then book a 60-minute breakthrough call on my website. If you're ready to be seen, if you're ready to break out, book a call and we'll see what's possible. Uh, Kaylin, am I telling you that Santa Claus is real after all? It's a real fairy tale. Yes, it is. All right. So, yeah, but the Santa Claus is just good, just in the story. I know you're just pulling my leg. You like to do that. All right. Well, everybody, it's so great having you all here. We'll see you next week. I'll let you know how my journey goes this weekend and bring some questions. Maybe you want to know what's going on with you. I'll give you a quick little read and we'll see what's up for next week. All right. Many blessings until we meet again. Keep asking my favorite question. How? How does it get any better than this? And then stay in that blissful question of, I wonder. See you next week, everyone. Bye. Figure out how to turn all these things off. There we go.